Hello, brothers and sisters of light, and welcome to my page. My page is about common sense, but I try to keep it down under the nitty gritty, under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, that means it's something very, very, very important. And not important to liberals, libertarians, people believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listener's discretion is advised. Going down the rabbit hole, not up your asshole. Now, these are from my anecdotal experiences and my opinions based off of my testimonial experiences and also other men's experience over hundreds of years, okay? So, the time right now is about 45 seconds. And Mark, if you have any comments or questions or anything listed down below. This video is going to be focused on helping a certain particular women out there. All right, so this video is going to be called the top 5 guys who are most likely to be loyal, okay? And as I said this before, I may go off a tangent sometimes, but you should be able to follow me because you can listen in on what I'm saying carefully, okay? Now, these are the top 5 guys off the top of my head, and maybe 3, okay? But off the top of my head, these are the top 5 guys, or maybe even 3, that will most likely be loyal to you women. Now, this particular type of woman, as I'm going to make sure I make this very clear from the beginning because people get me misconstrued. If you're the type of woman who listens and obeys her father, this is important. See, this is important. Your father should be the one making the decision, or you have a strong motherly-like figure who has a strong fatherly-like based mentality logically, okay? If you have a mother who is very logical, okay, that's good. That's just as equivalent as a father, okay? There are women out there, and I do not denounce it. I know there's women out there who's strong mentally, just like a man, but that is comparison. Don't compare apples to oranges. We got this bunch of women who can think like men, but this many men who can think like men, okay? This many women who can think like men, and then we got this many women who can think like men, okay? All right, okay? But these days, a lot of men are betas, but I digress here. So these are the top things you must need. Before you can even think about men being loyal to you, you must understand to have a father figure. This is very detrimental, okay? To what I'm saying here. So the first top one is the average Joe Smo male. These type of guys, the average Joe Smo looking male, usually a 7, usually a 6, or even a 5. Now, if you want to look at the video I made previously in the past about the numbers, women look at numbers differently than men do. Women are far more shallow when looking at appearances than men are. So we should know that's a fact, okay? All right? So when you notice that the first type of guy is a Christian-going male, an average-looking, I said, an average, most men, what I was told by most women see them as average. So I'm not belittling women, I'm not belittling men, I'm just telling you what they told me. So naturally, a fact of a woman who always thinks of herself narcissistically as an 8, 9, or 10 because of her sister-like friends, she'll look at a man and say, hey, I better use him before it's too late. But she's not going to speak about it. But see, these are the top 5 men, okay? If you see an average Joe Smo working a basic 9-to-5 job, he's likely to be highly loyal. I've met plenty of these guys, and half of them are most likely virgins, okay? That's the great thing about being an average Joe Smo male. They're most likely virgins. They have inexperiencedness with the women. They cannot whore around because they're average-looking males. When you have average-looking women, however, if you're an average-looking woman, you're going to wear makeup. You're going to wear designer stuff. You're going to wear fake hair and all that. That's common sense. Nails, the Jezebel spirit, okay, yada, yada, yada. High heels. These things make up for their flaws. And I'm not saying all of you women, but most likely all of you women who wear these things, in my perspective, okay? Now, some beta male would sugarcoat and say, oh, you should put a little bit on this. Maybe in some situation. My ex, she didn't have no eyebrows. And I told her that made mascara stuff you put on your eyebrows replace the eyebrows that she was missing. It's like burned off or singed off. But there's some people with unibrows and they would. That's okay. That's okay. But the average looking female is not particularly attracted to the average looking male. So that's the number one. You got it? The average looking male. Now, average looking could be just one thing on a male, and automatically she's not attracted to him. That's what they told me. You wear glasses, anything. Okay. Anything that's like out of place and you're not 6'2" or some shit like that, because they've been brainwashed. So that's the first type of male. So if you see this type of guy, he's not going to approach you because he's probably received so much rejections. And most men are like this, okay? Now, I'm not talking about beta males here. I don't really want to talk about beta males because that's another subject for another day. The second type of male is those guys who basically go to church. Oh, those guys, yes, they're in church. They're there sometimes with their parents. Sometimes they're there with their families and stuff like that. But they're usually alone. They live in their mama's basements, those type of guys. Most women don't choose them. Guys who don't have their own cars, okay? Guys who don't have their own place are most likely loyal, okay? But I'm not saying I'm like that because I always have my own place and my own car. But even those guys who are average Joes, who have their own businesses together, which is the third one, are most likely loyal too. But they're not going to play games. Most of the times they don't have standards. But if you see a nice looking guy, and then he has a lot of money, he's rolling the dough, women can sense out, you can smell that money. You can smell that money, right? So what should you do in that situation? You should do polygyny. You should be a virgin. Okay, these are fundamentally simple things that men don't really look for a lot compared to women. So I listed 3 things. Okay, we got the male who's average male who's working at the job. We got the average male who's living with us, who's a Christian. You got another male who's a business-like male. Okay, and then we have the gamer. Yeah, so you got another one. Anytime you hear a guy is like a gamer, and even number 5, the geek or the nerd type of guy, the so-called incels, a lot of beta women, average-looking Joe Smo females they'll call them incels, involuntary manslaughter. Yeah, I was about to say that. An incel is a male, predominantly a male, who is a involuntary virgin because it's not his fault. Okay, no matter how well he spruces his appearance up, it's only money that will make him more attractive, not his personality. These days, women do not care for personality. These days, women do not care for personality. These days, women do not care for personality. Why did I say that 3 times? So I listed 5 different type of characters who are most likely loyal. Now, the guys who are not particularly loyal is those guys who are 6'2", okay? Those guys who are super, super attractive, more than your own appearances. Now, if you need to wear makeup, you're just average, you're basic. So just be real. You don't need the makeup. I don't like makeup. Real men don't need the makeup. It smears on the pillow. It does a lot of bullshit. You gotta put this chemical on your face to get the other chemical off your face. And that's just common sense. So, if you don't care about your health, you don't have your father figure, you're definitely not a virgin, you're definitely not into polygyny, you are belittling yourself as a woman. And if you clearly read your Christian context in your Bibles and your scriptures, you understand that is a fact. No one is equal. No 2 men are equal. No 2 women are equal. And get it out of your head with this equal thing. I don't like that. Okay. If no 2 men are equal, then no 2 men or women are equal themselves. So we know that's a matter of fact. Okay. Other than that, that's what I really gotta say, guys. So if you have any comments, questions, insults about that, please write it down if you want. Okay. I've listed there are these 5 different types of guys: the gamer, the geek, and the nerd. Okay, and I try to tell you women this stuff because I'm not no chauvinist or anything. I'm not a sexist. I'm a realist today. I just talk about statistics and facts and my personal anecdotal experiences. And you can't go against that because these are my facts. So if you want to talk to me about something, so how we can work together rather than just fight about who's better and who's this and who's trying to be a narcissist when you don't even know what the word means, you should have a discussion about stuff like that, you know? And it's sad that most people, especially millennials born after the 1980s, don't have this knowledge because they're working on their emotional turmoil and they can't pay attention more than 5 minutes. So, oh, look at the time. 10 minutes and 36 seconds. Have you made it this far? Congratulations. So if you want to learn something, you know how to come to me for therapeutic sessions, okay? I still do these sessions and I travel abroad. You'll see snippets of my life. You can't see everything because they're just trolls on the internet. I just gotta be careful. I don't feel like filing lawsuits. I know how to do that stuff now. I know how to file for lawsuits now, guys. Hey, as a matter of fact, I'm advertising something here. It's called pettylawsuit.com. If you want to at least get that $10,000 from someone who has defamed your character, just pettylawsuit.com. There's a bunch of lawyers out there who's coming up out of the game, and they don't want nothing from it. I think they might charge like $75 to $100 to start filing a petition and going about it. But there's people on the internet who's using AI and all sorts of crazy stuff to defame your face or something. You know, you got to be careful. Don't use people's faces on platforms. This is going over 10 minutes now here. I digress here. I'm about to go to my second Airbnb now. I'm in Nigeria still. But I help all of the above. I'm not thinking about just helping men and helping women. I try to help all of them. In the long run, the women are going to be losing in the overall end, okay? But it's the men who are going to learn from their mistakes. They're going to learn the hard way, and the women are going to suffer. And I don't want to see people suffering. I'm an empath, okay? I try my best to try to fix these problems before they get out of hand. But that's not what this video is about. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your beta man. And you are welcome. You are welcome. Share this video for women who don't know any better, who don't know what types of men. There are like 80% of men out there who are most likely loyal. I'm sorry. And then there'll be women coming in the inbox saying, no, that's not true. I said, no. Give me some proof. Give me some evidence. Men are simple creatures. They are not difficult. You are not supposed to be in a monogamous relationship with any man. If you go, here's some extra advice for you women. If you ask the man, say, would you like to share me? Now, that could be a trick question to him. He's going to be thinking logically. If you say to him straight up, I would like to share you with a sister wife. Say that. Test his loyalty out. Because most men do want that. Like 80% men want to have multiple wives. So I don't know where this thing comes in, where these real men thinking monogamous relationships are the best. When statistics show that they fail by at least 80 to 90%, especially in the Western cultures, okay? So civilized countries tend to cater towards effeminate factions, okay? And the feminist movement, when they get angry and old, okay? Because they have no training or discipline. But I don't hate women. I said this time and time again, guys. All right, but anyway, got to get out of here, guys. I got to go to my second Airbnb. It's hot as fuck out here. Right now it's raining and there's some festival going on out there. I should get out there and I'm going to find out. I'll record some more. Don't worry about it, okay? Other than that, that's all we got to say, guys and girls and everything in between. And the werewolves, and the bats, and the shapeshifters, okay? And the lizards, okay? Please don't eat me. Please don't come for me. Stay out there. Anyway, yeah, have a nice day, and I hope y'all guys are doing okay out there, because the guys are suffering, and the guys are winning if you get some knowledge. Knowledge is power. Other than that, y'all have a good day. Peace. You see, I got dentures. Oh, I got dentures, and a lot of women don't like that because they're petty. Okay, but they wear wigs and 9-inch nails. They see. Anyway,